Okay, this is part 2 because I was able to fit everything in. So this is KR. Sorry, I think I have an alert. Yeah, that was an alert running. Okay, so back to KR. So KR, I just want to record a separate video because I ran out of time in the first one, and KR is important from a psychological point of view because these are all the trades that I took on it, all the entries, all the executions, which is excessive to say the least. And I was trying to catch the top, trying to catch the bottom. So let me show you what I did and why this is a good video about how to avoid revenge trading, because it doesn't work. I mean, that's why it's called revenge trading, because it doesn't work. So initially, I started shorting this. Once again, this is where I made my first error, because notice how I said in part 1 that I didn't give one stock 5 minutes to set up, and this is the one. And I think this is also the one I was looking on the 1 minute chart. So this is a real messed up kind of trade, and that led me to all sorts of bad and dark places. So I shorted here at, was it $21.10, thinking, okay, lost the VWAP. It seemed to have a lot of weakness even pre-market, but then, you know, I should have seen that, you know, and I knew this, that this was a really long candle. I mean, it dropped a hell of a lot, like 3 points or something pre-market. Excuse me, but I shorted here, I added here, instead of covering, I added here, then I added here, and I covered here at 9:40 a.m., which was at $21.74. So already that was a loss. I'm pretty sure that pretty much wiped out my gains for the day. But I didn't stop there. And I'll show you where the revenge kicked in. So it kicked in, I wouldn't say here, I kicked in on the next trade. So once again, I tried to get out of my, so here I'm down about $120 or thereabouts, okay? So I went to short here, here, and here. I covered here in 3 places, which I believe that wasn't a bad trade. That got me down to like minus $60. And then I went to short it again, obviously to try and go green on the day, positive on the day. And you can see it was just hanging around the VWAP here. And I shorted here and here, and I covered here, and I here in 3 places. And I think I was up about $60 at this stage, or maybe $120, right? So this should have been it. This should have been it, you know, knowing that I got myself out of a hole, you know, being $265 or $250 up on the day, not being aware of it, then losing a fair chunk of it, going minus, and then back up again. So that should have been it. Now, this is where the revenge bit kicked in. So from about 10:40, I said to myself, no, I'm not going to allow this shitty stock to dictate terms to me, and I'm going to win. I'm going to beat the stock. I'm going to beat the market, simply because I'm going to force these trades. And that's what I started doing. So from being like minus $60 down and calling it a day, I further went and started shorting it quite aggressively, you know, taking pretty big position sizes. I mean, here you can see, I mean, let's look at this at 10:40. So let's find 10:40. So it's probably this one here. So 300 shares, and I didn't stop. I mean, look at this. It's gone past the VWAP. You know, definitely a place to cut your losses. But no, what does BART do? BART adds to the short. You know, here at the 20 EMA, adds to the short. You know, finally succumbs and takes the pain. And you know, here I'm down, I don't know, couple of, I don't know, $300-400, whatever it is. You know, and then once again, you know, I try and short it here, thinking it's going to go below the web. Now, this is not a place to be shorting. You know, there's no indication on this chart to show me why I should be shorting this. Okay, it's above the VWAP. You know, it's having a bit of a pullback, but you know, the volume is quite strong. So there's no real reason for me to be shorting this. You know, like the candle haven't closed below the previous ones, but you know, here I go again. So shorting, you know, doubling up here, cutting losses, then shorting here again, and then cutting my losses in 3 places. You know, it's actually, I think I may have even gone long. Actually, I went long as well, because what I was doing is, as it was reaching up and breaking out and reaching $22, I kept buying, thinking it's going to break 22. But then obviously it just flipped around and went back down. Then when it was hovering around 2160, I kept shorting, thinking it was going to go back down, and it went up. So this is why revenge trading is so freaking wrong. It goes against you, you know. So actually, what time did I finish this Harakari? Probably around here again, I think 12:30. 12:30, I called it a day. You know, there was no way I was getting out of this hole. And I said to myself, right, this is proof that revenge trading, definitely for me, in my humble opinion, doesn't work. It personally, for me, it gets me into darker holes and bigger holes, and I just can't get out, because then I take bigger position sizes, which I have been doing here, and I try and force trades that aren't there. So just wanted to give you a really quick short video on KR, why revenge trading doesn't work, and a really good example of how to go from a manageable $60 loss for the day, which is not a ball buster. It's not an account blow up size loss. It's a very manageable loss, and it's within my loss limits. So how you go from that to something that is absolutely out of this world and blows up your account. So just a short video to show you guys that. Leave me any comments. I'm happy to kind of give you an update as to how I'm feeling right now. I can tell you that I'm very frustrated. I'm very angry at myself. My wish was to walk away from today being green, and and I'm walking away with what would have been, I mean, it wouldn't have got to this stage had it been real money. But for me, because I'm taking this so seriously, this whole challenge, for me, this is almost as close as you can get it to a real loss. I mean, yes, I don't have the emotions and the heart flutters, because I just, it's not real money. But everything else is going to go through my head for the whole weekend. It's going to go through my head, why I was forcing them. It's going to go through my head why I took big size and wanted just to force trades. And it's a good lesson to have. It's a shitty feeling, but it's a good lesson to have, because it just means that come Monday morning, I'm going to recall this day for a very, very long time. And, it's not something I'm going to forget very, very quickly. And they're the lessons you need. They're the things that make you stronger as a trader. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling on. It's Friday night, guys. Enjoy your evening, and I'll speak to you Monday. Cheers. Have a good weekend. Bye.